You know, many of us are told that the answer to every ache or imbalance lies in a pill bottle. It's almost become a reflex. A little stiffness, a tablet. A restless night, another capsule. A heavy stomach, yet one more. And in some cases, medication is absolutely necessary. It can be life-saving. But here's the gentle truth. Our bodies, especially as we grow older, don't always respond kindly to a daily flood of pills. The liver, which has carried us through decades of celebrations, meals, and even moments of overindulgence, now works harder to filter out what we take in. The stomach, which once handled almost anything, can suddenly protest. And sometimes what starts as healing ends up becoming another weight the body must bear. Aging has a way of teaching us to slow down and listen more closely. It whispers, "You don't need more, you need gentler." That doesn't mean rejecting the medicines that keep you safe. It means making space for softer supports too. Nature, in its quiet way, has always held remedies that don't shout, but instead work patiently with your body. Think of spices. They sit in little jars in your kitchen, often overlooked, yet each one carries centuries of wisdom inside it. They don't force the body, they guide it. They remind us that healing can be woven into everyday rituals like stirring a pot of soup or sipping warm tea. There's something profoundly comforting about that, isn't there? To realize that care doesn't always come in the form of something bitter you swallow quickly, but in flavors that nurture and invite you to slow down. Perhaps the deeper lesson here is that with age, our relationship with healing changes. What worked in our 40s may feel harsh in our 70s. What seemed too small to matter, like a pinch of cinnamon or a slice of ginger, suddenly reveals its quiet strength. And maybe that's the gift of this stage of life, the invitation to notice the subtle, to trust the gentle, to welcome the slow medicine of everyday living. As you read this, you might be thinking about the ways your own body has changed. Maybe pills that once seemed harmless now leave you feeling heavy. Maybe you've already discovered the calming power of a spice in your tea or a herb in your soup. Or maybe you're just beginning to wonder if there could be another way. Wherever you are in that journey, there's no pressure here, only an invitation to listen to yourself with a little more kindness. I'd love to know, where are you reading this from? Share your city or country below. It's always comforting to see how wisdom travels across places, carrying warmth from one home to another. Martha is 72, and for many years her mornings began with the same quiet struggle, the stiffness in her knees. She used to describe it as if her body had rusted overnight, each step a reminder that time had moved on. Doctors offered her creams, supplements, and eventually pills. They helped a little, but they also left her feeling heavy, her stomach unsettled. One evening, almost by accident, her daughter made her a cup of warm milk with a little turmeric stirred in. At first, Martha laughed. How could something so ordinary make a difference? Yet after a week of this small nightly ritual, she noticed that mornings no longer felt like a battle. The stiffness was still there, but softer, as if her body had been gently oiled from within. She hadn't found a miracle cure, she had found comfort. There is something beautiful in that, isn't there? The realization that healing doesn't always need to come with warnings or side effects, that sometimes it hides in the golden powder you've had in your kitchen all along. Turmeric has been used for centuries, not just as a spice, but as a healer. Its secret lies in curcumin, a compound that helps calm inflammation, the very fire that often feeds our joint pain and stiffness. And while pills might try to silence that fire quickly, turmeric works with patience, easing it day by day, like a friend who simply sits beside you without judgment. If you want to try this yourself, keep it simple. Warm a cup of milk, dairy or plant-based, whichever your body accepts most kindly. Add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder and stir slowly, watching the milk turn a soft golden color. Then sprinkle in just a pinch of black pepper. This small touch helps your body absorb the curcumin more effectively. Sip it gently before bed and notice how your body feels in the morning. Maybe you'll find a little more ease in your steps, maybe just a lighter feeling in your joints. Either way, what matters is not perfection, but the act of caring for yourself in this mindful way. And perhaps the deeper gift is the ritual itself, the slowing down at night, the warm cup in your hands, the soft glow of the drink reminding you that your body deserves comfort, not just treatment. As you listen to your body, ask yourself quietly, what does it truly need tonight? Is it another tablet, or is it a moment of warmth, a gesture of kindness that carries no weight except love? If these gentle reminders resonate with you, I invite you to subscribe, because I share more of these small but powerful ways to support your health each week. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about finding little rituals that make you feel more at home in your body, no matter your age. There is a quiet sweetness in cinnamon that many of us overlook. We think of it as something sprinkled on oatmeal or baked into bread, a flavor tied to comfort and memory. But what few people realize is that this spice does more than please the tongue. It speaks directly to the body in ways that grow especially important as we age. Inside your blood, there is a constant dance of sugar. When you are younger, your body manages this dance with ease, guiding sugar into the cells where it becomes energy. But as the years pass, that system can grow tired. The cells may not respond as quickly to insulin, and sugar lingers in the bloodstream, creating strain on the heart, the vessels, and your energy levels. That's where cinnamon, in its humble way, can help. Medical studies have shown that compounds in cinnamon mimic some of the effects of insulin, gently encouraging sugar to enter the cells more efficiently. It doesn't force the body, it nudges it, supporting balance without harshness. And as circulation improves, many people notice a warmth in their hands and feet, a soft sign that blood is moving more freely. Perhaps you felt the difference between days when your energy feels steady and days when it suddenly drops. Imagine if a simple pinch of spice could help smooth those fluctuations, not as a cure, but as a companion. What makes cinnamon so beautiful is that it asks for very little. Half a teaspoon sprinkled into your morning oatmeal, a dash stirred into a cup of tea, even blended into warm water with a slice of apple. It's enough to begin. Over time, those small acts create a rhythm of support, like a gentle hand resting on your shoulder. Of course, cinnamon is not a replacement for medical care, and if you are already managing blood sugar with medication, you should continue to follow your doctor's guidance. But you can also allow cinnamon to become part of your daily rituals, a way to nourish yourself while honoring your body's changing needs. You might ask yourself, how does my body feel after I eat? Do I notice heaviness, sudden tiredness, or a restless mind? Or do I feel light, warm, and steady? These quiet questions are not tests, they are invitations to awareness. Sometimes the greatest wisdom lies not in what we are told, but in what we notice for ourselves. Cinnamon becomes not just a spice, but a reminder that small things still matter, perhaps more now than ever. With age, we learn that strength doesn't always come from doing more. It often comes from choosing the right little things, done with care. And so, when you lift that spoon of oatmeal or sip that cup of tea, know that you're not just feeding your body, you are giving it a kindness it remembers. There is a quiet wisdom in ginger, one that reveals itself most clearly when our bodies begin to slow down. You may have noticed that digestion, once effortless, now asks for more patience. A meal that felt light years ago can leave you feeling heavy or restless today. It isn't that you are doing anything wrong, it's simply that the body, like an old friend, asks for gentler care as it ages. Ginger has been that friend for centuries, known in many cultures as the root that warms, soothes, and protects. It doesn't scold the stomach or force it into action, it simply reminds it how to move again with ease. If you've ever felt that uncomfortable swelling in your belly or the unease that lingers long after a meal, ginger can be a soft hand guiding your digestion back into rhythm. The beauty of this spice lies not just in its effect, but in the ritual of preparing it. Imagine taking a piece of fresh ginger, its scent sharp and earthy in your hands. Slice 2 or 3 thin pieces and place them in a cup of water. Let it boil for 10 minutes, the steam carrying a warmth that already begins to ease you. When you pour it into your cup, let it cool just enough so it can be sipped slowly. Perhaps you add a touch of honey, perhaps you leave it cure. Drink it with presence, feeling the warmth spread from your chest into your stomach. This simple practice can prepare your body before meals, helping food pass more gently, or it can calm the heaviness that follows after. The steps are easy, yet they hold more meaning than meets the eye. Each slice of ginger, each stir of the spoon, is a reminder that you are choosing care over hurry. You are saying to your body, I hear you, I honor you, I want you to be at peace. And in this stage of life, isn't that one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves? To no longer push, but to support. To no longer ignore, but to listen. Ask yourself softly, when was the last time I sat with a cup of something warm? Not for hunger, not for thirst, but simply for healing. These are not indulgences, they are necessities. They ground you, they calm you, they remind you that health is not only in medicine bottles, but also in the small, loving choices you make daily. And perhaps as you sip that golden tea, you will notice that what seemed like just a root has become something more. A companion for your journey, steady and kind, asking for nothing except to be welcomed into your life. Garlic has often been called a healer's spice, yet many people shy away from it because they believe it only works if eaten raw in strong, overwhelming amounts. That belief has kept countless people from welcoming it into their daily lives, but the truth is much gentler. Even in small, consistent doses, garlic can help lower blood pressure, ease strain on the heart, and keep blood flowing with greater ease. It isn't about shocking the body with extremes. It's about offering steady support, the way a candle quietly lights a dark room without demanding attention. Black pepper, too, is often overlooked, thought of only as seasoning at the table, yet it holds a quiet magic of its own. A compound called piperine helps your body absorb the beneficial nutrients from other foods more effectively. It's almost as if black pepper plays the role of a helper, opening the door so other healing elements can enter and do their work. When garlic and pepper come together, their strength deepens, not in a forceful way, but in harmony. Imagine adding a clove of garlic, finely chopped, to a pot of soup, and finishing with a light sprinkle of black pepper. The flavors blend seamlessly, and while you enjoy the warmth of the meal, your body quietly receives their gifts. There is no need for dramatic rituals or uncomfortable extremes, just small, steady acts of care. Aging teaches us that the grand gestures we once chased are less important than the quiet habits we keep. A dash of pepper on roasted vegetables, a spoonful of garlic simmered in olive oil before you sauté greens. These little choices accumulate into something greater. They may not draw applause, but they can help your heart beat a little easier, your circulation feel a little freer. Think about the stories your own body carries. Perhaps you've noticed the way your hands or feet grow cold more easily now, or how your blood pressure creeps up when you're under stress. What if, instead of meeting these changes with frustration, you saw them as reminders to add one more layer of kindness into your meals? Garlic and pepper can become part of that kindness, woven into food that nourishes both body and spirit. There is a quiet dignity in these small daily acts. They remind us that life is not only about fighting illness, but about cultivating strength gently in the rhythms of everyday living. You don't need to change everything at once. Start with one meal, one pinch, one clove. Notice how it feels, not just in your body, but in the peace of mind that comes from knowing you are caring for yourself in ways that are natural, simple, and sustainable. If you found even one of these spices helpful, I would love to hear from you. Which one already has a place in your kitchen, and which are you curious to try first? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss more gentle wisdom for living well at every age.